I do these paintings outside, I spend so much time at one place that I think people when they look at my paintings, they're like, why did she make that? Before I came here, I was in Washington, D.C. for 5 years, and I started to do some small cityscape drawings there, and they interested me because their place, it's where people live. I'm a farm girl. I grew up on a farm in Iowa, and yet I find myself in this man-made construct of the city. And this is my life, I don't ache to go live on the farms, but when I came to Savannah, because the weather's so beautiful for so much of the year, really in February, I could be out painting, for a good number of hours in a day, and there's very few places where you could do that. And so it was possible to kind of take it seriously year-round to see what would happen if I would take cityscape as my subject. I think one distinction about my painting is that I do it all on site. So when I do these, I'm doing traditional plein air painting, is what it's called, like Monet, except Monet was out in the meadows predominantly, and I'm in the middle of the city. But I'm not working from photos. I'm working on site, doing my drawings on site, and I'm kind of in the midst of this microcosm that, part of it's in the painting, part of it is the painting, and I'm in it while it's being made. I'm not going to my studio to create it. So that's something I think that makes it very different than a lot of other types of painting. You think of the sequestered artist, in their studio on the 4th floor of a building, or, locked behind a door, not wanting to be disturbed. And so I come out here and I feel very free when I'm in the midst of this place. Somehow I focus really well, with all the things going on around me. It requires that I focus, and it's almost an aid to it. I'm not trying to make it photorealistic at all. Some people would maybe say that, wow, it looks like a photo, but I think that that's what they say when they're looking at it from a distance, and as soon as they go up and look at the surface, they see the brush strokes, they see, marks of paint, they can see a lot of layers, they can probably see underdrawing, they can sense that it's very much handmade, that it's not, a smooth, continuous surface by any means. And that interests me very much. It's that tension between the fact that this is a two-dimensional surface where there's a mark, there's things being put on it that make the image, and yet at the same time there's a strong illusion of receding space, of perspective, of atmosphere, that it's not all completely one of those things. It's not all depth and it's not all surface at the same time. It's the give and take between those. Now I haven't been here, it's late enough to let that parking lot light right over there come on. And so it gives me a whole new idea about an emphasis of light, maybe I can make a pathway of light right through here. Making these paintings is a composite, that it's not just painting one day, but painting on a series of the days. So the weather is different, the clouds are different, the cast shadows. Today there's water on the pavement that I hadn't seen before, so I can use that if I want, or I see different blowing trees, I can incorporate those. So that's part of the joy of making these, is that it's this composite that a photograph could never be, a snapshot could never be. And I get to come out here over and over again to see how it all changes. When I'm painting, because I am making the street my studio for these paintings, that a lot of people say things to me and they add to my understanding of the place. Sometimes they've lived here for many years and they can tell me something about the places that I'm painting, and they become part of the layers of meaning and the kind of accretion and composite nature of these works. They're part of that too. Sometimes they say that they hadn't noticed what I'm painting before, even though they'd walked by that place or driven by there many times. And that gives me a degree of pleasure, just thinking that I asked them to stop and consider a place the same way that I am stopping to consider a place. And hopefully when people see my paintings in a gallery, that they will have that same feeling, that they'll want to stop and consider my painting and at least have some curiosity about the subject, and maybe even if they live here in Savannah, want to go see the street address or to see the location that I've painted to see if it looks to them the way it looked to me.